Hi there folks, welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. This is going to be a wee walkthrough of the Mythological Fennica Tarot by Susanna Salo. I'm actually doing this as a wee, it wasn't a request I offered, but so Lainey is live right now actually. Still live whilst I'm doing this from the Heebie Doobie shop, and she's doing a wee witchy sale, and she was showing some tarot cards, and this was one of the decks that she's selling. I actually bought this from Lainey, gosh, a fair few months back now, and someone in the chat, Gwen, hi Gwen, if you're there, was asking to see some of the art, and Lainey's got a sealed copy of the deck, so she was only able to show the cards that were actually on the back that you can see here. So I said I'll go and film a wee walkthrough, because I've been meaning to film a walkthrough of this deck anyway. Deck. I need to be careful. That's one word I should really be careful how I pronounce, isn't it? So, interpret your life afresh with ancient Finnish wisdom. Finnish mythology, the basis for this tarot, is rooted in nature. Mythologia Fennica Tarot includes the traditional 78 cards, but is divided into the 4 classic elements of nature: fire, water, air and earth, instead of suits. Featuring a range of beings, deities, nature spirits and more, it draws strongly on the traditional wisdom of Finnish folklore. So each card tells a new story, yet remains true to the classic Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And just as with classic tarot, this deck is about self-knowledge and spiritual growth. That's a wee bit about the deck. The box is a 2-part box. As you can see, it slides open like that. It's a nice solid box that will keep your cards nice and protected. You can see we get a nice ribbon there to make things easy to take out. The book is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, we're getting, it's a nice kind of a glossy book. Lots of detail on each of the cards, and we're getting a nice colour representation of the card on each page. So you can see you're getting like a page and a half for each major, and same for the minors actually, which is great. Let's see, does it also, yeah, there's some spreads and some lovely information as well there, like an introduction and whatnot. So the book is a good one. Okay, the cards themselves. So cardstock wise, it's a nice matte papery cardstock, but it does have a nice smoothness to it. As you can probably see, they've got this beautiful silver foil edging. And to give you a wee size comparison, so this is like a standard US game size. This is the Mythologia Fennica. I think when I started I said Mythologica, so I've said that wrong. You can see that it's actually the exact same size, but the corners are a bit more rounded in the Mythologia. So yeah, that seems to be the only difference. Okay. Something that's quite nice that kind of strikes the eye, the majors have this dark blue border, and then the minors all have this kind of a light bluey greeny border, and you can see that each of them have a symbol for the element. You kind of saw the back there when I was holding it up, but these are the backs of the cards. As you can see, they're reversible, so if you read with reversals, then all sorted, we're all good. And let me just zoom in a bit so as we can see the art better, and I'll do a wee flip through. So we start off with the full, which is the beginning, and you get in this egg, this image of this kind of a cracked egg, and we see the bird flying over this kind of a sea inside. So that's absolutely beautiful for the full, particularly the idea of the egg. The Magician. So as you can see, for each card we are it's linked to what I'm assuming is part of this Finnish mythology. So these, as the kind of a back of the box said, these will be deities, beings, deities, nature spirits, and more from Finnish folklore. Ilmarinen. I'm not going to try and pronounce them all. Art style is beautiful. You're getting this kind of a real sketched, beautiful artwork. That is a stunning Empress. That could almost be a death card. And interestingly, the Empress is Arcanum 3, Death is Arcanum 13, so there is always that link between the two. The Empress is all about growth and nurturing, but remember, in order to let something grow, in order to nurture, let's use a plant as an analogy. In order to nurture and let the plant grow to its fullest, you need to have that connection to the death side. You need to be able to cut off the dead bits, and you need to have discipline as well as just have the nurturing side. So I really do love that. Shaman for the Hierophant. So we have strength at 8 here. So it does follow the Smith way, strength at 8, justice at 11, rather than the old way where they were the other way about. And there's our justice there. Interestingly though, when you look at them side by side, the strength and the justice, can't speak tonight, strength and justice, you do get this kind of a similitude between the two. You've got the archer on the horse, and then we've got an archer here and the horse is in the background, so these could almost be like different faces of the same cards, if you want to put it that way. That's pretty cool. The Hanged Man is dueling singers. And that's our beautiful death card. So that's the image from the front of the box. So it has really kind of Charon from Greek mythology. The ferryman of the souls. Has that kind of a feel. Stunning devil card. That is beautiful. Love how chaotic the devil feels. Great oak for the tower. The North Star with the Ouroboros, the snake consuming its own tail. For the star. Beautiful moon card. Done an amazing job with the two. The two wolves, or sometimes it's a dog and a wolf. Sun. Judgment. And then our world card. The Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is something that finds its way into so many different mythologies. It's such a beautiful image. Okay, so we've got the suit of fire or wands. The images are so striking. This feels more Two of Swords than Two of Wands. This feels very like if you know the Mariel Tarot, this is very much like the Two of Swords from the Mariel. dragon, 10 of Wands, absolutely stunning dragon. Really captures the fiery essence of it. And speaking of fiery essence, look at this eagle for the page. So we have a page, a knight, and then we have a mother. Sorry, no, Queen of Wands is Mother of Fire. And then the King of Wands. Again, that fieriness, that fiery nature. Into the cups. Will-o'-the-wisp for the 5. Oh, look at that for the 8, the vortex. That's beautiful. I really love when water is depicted really well in artwork. The kings are... So the King of Wands was obviously dead fiery, and then this guy's dead watery. I'm wondering if we're going to see that as a common theme through the kings. The honeybee for the Ace of Swords, it's interesting. Witch's Circle for the 8 of Swords. Oh, the raven. That is a cool image. Very airy, like lightning. I'm getting the vibes of lightning from this king, which is appropriate for the King of Swords, the Air King. So this is our last suit. This is the suit of Pentacles. So we have our hair for our ace, which is beautiful. The 2. So the artwork in this deck is really striking. It is really quite different from the RWS. To a point where I would probably want to read the book cover to cover. I would probably want to really research this Finnish, folklore and mythology. to get the the most out of working with the deck, but the artwork is really striking, and it is such that you would be able to get hits from this artwork one way or the other. Something about the eights and the kings that I'm really enjoying. Queen. And then our king. King of the Forest. So that's all the cards, folks. I always like to let you see how they shuffle. My deck is kind of a bowed a bit. I don't know if you can see that. Doesn't bother me. I riffle shuffle my decks anyway, so if they always end up being a bit bowed. So this one riffle shuffles really nicely. Oh yeah, we love a good riffle shuffle. Oops. Okay, after saying riffle shuffles really nicely, and then I got up on the second go. Because it's that standard size, it does overhand really nicely as well. So it's a good deck for shuffling. It's not going to be the, if you like to spread your cards out kind of like this and pick from various points in the deck, you're probably going to need like a spread cloth or something if you try and do this on a smooth surface. There's not enough, they're not slidey enough. It's not a slidey deck is the only thing, but that won't bother most people. And then let's just pull some cards, just kind of let you see them laid out together. Let you see how they read. I'll zoom out a smidge. So there you have it, folks. Look at how beautiful that artwork is all laid out together. Isn't that nice? So this is the Mythologia Fennica Tarot by Susanna Salo. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Leave me a wee like, a wee comment, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.